Alright, so this is my recap of my most recent race. Virtually, unfortunately, once again, but nonetheless, a great challenge and test to see, what works, what doesn't. Obviously, compete for the win. This was the World Time Trial Championship in virtual mode, utilizing the full gas platform. Um, we actually used real footage from Borrego Springs and the actual course, so that was pretty cool. In preparation, I mainly did a lot of Zwift uh, recently, and I joined innovation team on Zwift. Pretty hardcore guys, mostly A and some Bs as far as categories. So really pushing hard. I tried to join a few of their hard training sessions, and it's been paying off. Um, what else? Well, the issue was making sure my system is going to work. Uh, what kind of strategy I will pick, hydration, nutrition, and so on. Um, from my previous two races, it was evident that Apple TV is the way to go for full gas, since this is the platform they actually uh, prefer to use, or should I say, designed to be used with. I think they fell behind on the support to the Windows version. They did release some new updates, and anyhow, I was pretty confident, and with the previous experience, I changed a few things. Mainly, I had three fans this time. Temperature was very low, and so that was perfect. Although my both my windows were open, three fans were running, the temperature never dropped inside my room below 60, 55 degrees, even during the night when the temperature outside was in the 30s. Um, so that worked well. What else did I do? Obviously, I have a full rack here with 20 towels, and this time I decided not to deal with water bottles, bike water bottles, but instead I had gallons of water, and then I had my Scratch Labs hydration mix there. And I think I ended up drinking five gallons of water and 16 bottles of Ensure, maybe about 10 bananas and 10 energy bars. I switched 4 days in advance to Ensure. No issues there whatsoever. I was able to keep my downtime to about 5 minutes, mainly in the beginning of the race. So everything was smooth, everything was smooth. This race was also partially, or should I say, big goal of mine was to bring uh, cancer awareness, breast cancer in specific, once again. And I was looking at some numbers the other day. Apparently, last year, 1.8 million people were diagnosed with cancer. Of those, I believe 600,000 or so have lost their battle. And of those, I believe 42,000 with breast cancer. And surprisingly, but maybe not, and good for all the men to know, 400 of those are men. So we should all take this serious. It's something that we haven't solved after all this year and technological advancement, uh, you know, medicine and so on. So great way to help. I'm supporting this organization from my country of birth, Bulgaria, called One of Eight, because the name is One of Eight because one of eight women is likely to get it, and yeah, they're doing a fabulous job. I did support them during Virtual Raw earlier this year, and we collected almost $2,200. Uh, I will try to throw a link somewhere up here or at the end of the video down below, so feel free to help if you wish. Um, Anyhow, back to the race. I was excited. Plan was to obviously beat my best uh, outdoors, although you can't compare them outdoor with indoor racing. Some people don't consider indoor racing racing or cycling at all, but for those that have done it, including Marco, he said how tough it is. He lost a lot of weight. He had to hydrate way more than outdoors, and it's just there's other aspects that are challenging for the body. Actually, mentally, it's tough. You're not moving. You're sitting in one place, four walls, just staying. Motivated and entertained. The bike doesn't move, so those contact points are really getting beat up. You're sweating. Buckets of sweat are coming down. Um, so it's challenging. It's challenging, including you know up the hill. Uh, Obviously, the weight is inputted into your full gas or whatever virtual reality platform you're using. So two cyclists at the same wattage but different weight, they will move at different speeds up the hill. So, and something else that Brian Welsh actually mentioned during the live stream on the Ohio Rhyme Show is that it was the actual course which was obviously pretty flat. So because of that, there was no downtime. There was no time to relax. So there's no downhills to coast and get off the bike, stretch, apply creams, change, bathroom, you name it. So from that aspect, you had to just keep cranking the miles, and that's what I did. I mean, outdoors, my best so far was 410 miles, based on my fitness at the moment and my plan. I thought a good goal would be 23 to 25 laps. It's 18 miles a lap. 23 will be 414. 25 will be 450 miles. Realistically, my goal was 430. I knew that if I push 230 some watts, I go below 50 minutes per lap, but this is not sustainable. And then I did a test, and it seems like at around 200 watts at my weight, the lap times are in the neighborhood of 55, 56 minutes. So I figured, 24 hours, if I stay within the hour or a little less, and maybe 2-3 minutes less, I can crank up 24 laps and still have 10 minutes of downtime, time for issues that is going to be lost. So yeah, the first lap, obviously things started pretty fast. I tried not to feed into going super hard. It's a long race, so if that picture can be seen up there from my Strava, I end up doing it in 48 minutes 44 seconds, averaging about 232 watts. 232, a little faster than I wanted to, or maybe even slower than the first 10 to 15 racers. I mean, they were flying, but I knew eventually some will pay for it, and if I want to sustain, uh, you know, 65% of my power, this is something unrealistic to hold for super long time, but nonetheless, you wanna stay in the front and not lose sight of the top guys. I just wanted to be close to the top 10 and slowly move ahead and just consistency. My strength is not stopping and cranking up consistent watts. So that was the goal. I think the second lap was the second lap actually is when the issue started with the platform. Well, let's first say that after the first one, the course was supposed to loop, but it didn't. And during my test, it was looping one time. During my test, I believe when I did it in 50 some minutes and average 200 watts, I end up looping and going to the second lap. This time actually this didn't work. So after the lap, there's the screen with the end right, upload your info, upload your ride to Strava. So that was frustrating. I was like, wow, here goes with the technical issues. Immediately I started getting messages on Facebook and everywhere, and people didn't know what to do. I just told everyone keep cranking up the miles. Save it, go back in, I know it's frustrating. I know you're losing time, but there's nothing you can do about it. So just keep on moving. Second lap, you can see up there. I think I was still cranking a pretty good wattage at that time, above 200. I ended up doing a partial 11.92 in 33 minutes, and yeah, and then the app crashed. It didn't really crash. I think I lost power, heart rate and cadence, everything. So plan B was I had Windows running or the full gas platform as well. So I shut down Apple, immediately switched to the Windows. Still no power. Tried again and tried again and tried again. Nothing. I restart the Apple TV. Finally, I got it back to work. So uh, there was that. It was frustrating. I wasn't expecting to lose time. Right in the beginning of the race. So here goes with the plans of not stopping and saving time for breaks later on. Every minute counts. So, but anyways, I kept on pulling. The unfortunate thing was that because of this, every time you finished a lap, you were sent right to the bottom of the leaderboard. The live leaderboard that was a big issue for everyone, for the fans, for us racers. So it was a huge disappointment. Uh, Mainly because you don't know where everyone else is at the moment compared to you. And to me it's important because you want to strategize. In my head, should I slow down? You don't want to slow down, but can I get off? Um, can I use some time? Am I ahead? Should I push harder? How hard should I push? So from that sense, it was pretty frustrating. I submitted support ticket, and 5 hours later, I got a reply. Luckily, by I think lap 4, we got a message, I think email, and then a post from the RAM crew on their webpage about doing a fix and updating the ride history or ride list page on the Apple TV. That solved the issue, and then we were able to loop, and not stop. Unfortunately, the leaderboard was, completely off. Completely off. I think it actually worked after lap 4. My third lap was pretty decent, 52 minutes 41. Still averaging slightly or just around 200 watts. Then lap 4, 53, slightly below 200. So I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't pushing hard. My plan was working well. I knew I was within the hour. So that was cool. Um, and then yeah, this was what, hour 4 or 5. You're still fresh, still energized. By that time, night falls. I listened to a lot of music, obviously. Um, Watched a bunch of movies. Got messages from a ton of people. Some words of encouragement, and it was pretty cool. Eventually, you get tired of everything, so I had to throw away the headset and just focus. And it was tough mentally. I kept on cranking the miles, and then I knew the hard time would come. I think after 12 hours, I had uh, ooh, 220 some miles maybe. So I was looking good. As far as my plan, I knew 400 was within reach. The 430 goal was within reach. So I kept on going. Things started getting obviously harder. I had to stop and change my bibs and my jersey. In fact, I had to change them 4 times during the event just to keep dry and avoid any issues. Um, so that was perfectly fine. And then later on, I think around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, things were really getting bad for me. I think there were 2 bumps towards the end, a slight incline with a slight descent. So you technically could use the descent 30 seconds, 1 minute, and get off and do those things. Unfortunately, you're moving, but if you're pedaling, you'll be pedaling with 25 miles an hour on the downhill, and when you're coasting, you're only going 8, 10 miles an hour, but nonetheless, you're not losing much. So I had to use that to my advantage. Um, Eventually, I think I had some mild knee problems, so I had to keep applying my Amp Human Cream. That helped out. Obviously, reduce the power a little bit. Um, Other than that, as far as the leaderboard, maybe mention it again. Although it wasn't available, there was like a live map on the actual course that you can see, and um, yeah, you can see where others are next to you, the ones that are close to you, what kind of power they're outputting. So that was a good reference of how I'm doing compared to the others at the moment, but just those around you. So that was fine. Then I started getting sleepy. I wasn't listening to music anymore. I wasn't watching movies. I turned the lights off. So I had to change the strategy a little bit because I almost fell asleep, and I felt the bike slowly tilting. So I had to get off, turn the lights on, down triple shot of espresso, and crank up some music just to get through this rough patch. As soon as the sun came out, obviously things were improving, and I was feeling good again. I was feeling good again. Surprisingly, for indoor ride, my lips were getting so dry. I mean, so dry from all these fans blowing and chugging all this water. That was surprising. I had some heel problem. Never had heel problems, so I don't know. Maybe something wrong with my pedaling technique or my bike fit. I don't know. Back pain. Uh, but I mean, I did it smart. I had my aero bars raised kind of higher, so I was comfortable. Uh, Saddle, everything was fine. Obviously, the Infinity seat, that was pretty good. Uh, no issues with that contact point. Um, and then towards the end, I felt like I was pretty close to, you know, getting getting good mileage and getting good standings. We still don't know 2 days later what the final leaderboard is, but from the looks of it, I could be top three from all the Americans, maybe four. Second, maybe in my age group, we don't know yet. Hopefully, top 10 overall. But yeah, I finished with 431 miles, point 31. I think the final big file of 365 miles didn't actually upload. Here it is to Strava, nor did I receive the fit file in my email like I normally do. Uh, I don't know why it's showing zero power and energy. I did use a lot of energy. 365.19, and I think I had like 68 and some change from the previous loops. Um, yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Obviously, I've never done so many miles indoors or outdoors. The plan worked exceptionally well. At the end, I had a quick uh, race to the finish with Lee Crater from the Ohio Ram Show, Brian Welsh, Jim, his wife April. So that was pretty cool. That gave me a little bit of motivation and kept me entertained. I was just ready to get it over with, and yeah, the last two laps I had some extra power, but I was thinking, should I have pushed harder earlier? And I think I made the right decision because although I had the power, it wasn't sustainable. I wasn't able to average 230, 240, 250 for longer periods of time. Yeah, I can output that kind of power on the 22nd, third hour of this race, but 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it goes down to 100, 2 watts per kilo, 1.5. At the end, I'm super happy. A lot of positive messages. I learn what works, what doesn't, for the next real event, hopefully soon and outdoors. Um, we're supporting a great organization once again for breast cancer, and I'll throw the link somewhere so people can donate if they wish. And yeah, that's about it. We're moving on from here. Thanks to everyone that supported me, for everyone that's watching, and yeah, until next time.